There's this verse in Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 5. They can put it up. Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 5 that says, if you have run with the footmen and they have wearied you, then how can you contend with the horses? And if the land of peace in which you trusted wore you out, then how will you do when the floods of Jordan come? That's what he's saying. If you've run with the footmen and they wore you out, how can you contend with the horsemen when they come? And he says things like this to Jeremiah: before you were in your mother's womb, I called you to stand before kings and world leaders. Told Jeremiah that. He said, I ordained you to the nations. I set you apart, one translation said, for a special task. And I would read those words and I would change Jeremiah's name to Jensen because he loves me as much as he loves Jeremiah, and I got a better name than he had. He's been known more famous to be a bullfrog, but I come on. Y'all don't even know that joke. You don't know Jeremiah as a bull. I'll have to try that on the old people. He told him, he said, you're going to speak to kings. You're going to go before great people. I'm going to have you in places that unless you know who you are and who you've been sent by, you will crumble because you don't have enough confidence and courage in yourself. He said, there's a huge call on your life, Jeremiah. Judgment is coming, and I want you to say what other prophets, so-called prophets, are not saying. God actually called them windbags. And he said they speak all nice things and they don't say the truth, but I'm going to make you, he said, I'm going to make your face harder than their faces. And don't be afraid of their faces. That's the one that set me free. God told Jeremiah, don't be afraid of the faces of the people and their reactions. If they suck their teeth, if they roll their eyes, don't be afraid of their faces. You just stand up there, and he said, I'll make your face stronger than their face. I tell you, you start reading that stuff and it just gets in you, and that's what happened to me when I was about your age. And you know, when God called him, he was in a little bitty tiny town. That's where he lived. It starts small. The call of God, the plan of God, the mission of God starts small, and it starts where you are. It doesn't start when you get there, when you get this opportunity and that big deal. It starts where you are. Right now matters concerning where you're going. It starts here. It starts now. It starts where you are. And so God says, I don't want to focus on where you are, because where you are is small in comparison to where I'm taking you and the pressure that you will face. It's going to get harder. Now, y'all don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you, because you're a chosen generation, it's going to get harder. And indirectly, there is a phenomenal promise in this text. He said, you're headed for the horsemen, which means you're going to get through where you are right now. It's really God saying, you may fail when you get to the horsemen, but you're not going to fail where you are right now. Whatever you're going through right now is just the footmen, and that is not the big stuff that I have planned for your life. And so you're going to get through this season. I promise you, the horsemen are coming, and you're called to run with the horsemen, not the footmen. Greater things than these shall you do, Jesus said. He's got long-term plans for your life and for your generation. He's got a magnificent plan. It may feel hard where you're at right now. You may feel discouraged, and you may feel like giving up because it seems like that all you feel is weariness. But you've been called to run with horses. Now, here's the point. Opposition escalates with opportunity. And that means you have not peaked yet. That means that your greatest days are not behind you. They absolutely, I tell you with 100% confidence, you have not peaked yet. Your greatest days are in your future, not in your past. Greater doors. And with greater doors that will open will come greater opposition than you've ever experienced. And you've got to be soldiers. You've got to learn how to handle it. You've got to be able to deal with running with the horses. You keep saying, I want the big doors. You keep saying, I want you to use me. You keep saying it. What you're asking God for is you want to run with the horses. You don't want to be down here. You want to be up here. Okay? Then with the bigger doors comes greater opposition. Higher levels, higher devils. When God's people mobilize, the enemy mobilizes against you. So don't be astonished that you're going through things, that the enemy's attacking you and you feel like quitting. Let the magnitude of your calling grip you in those moments and say, there must, the devil doesn't bother somebody who's not going anywhere. He's worried not about where you are, but where you are headed. His family tried to take him out. He was thrown in mud. He wrote the book of Lamentations. He became known as the weeping prophet. Paul put it this way, the Apostle Paul. He said, a great door has opened for me, but the adversaries are many. I tell you, I've learned that with the many doors that God opens, the adversaries are many. And if I can't be faithful on the level where I am, I sure won't be able to handle the good times and the success and the opposition that will come when I move from footman to horseman. So important. I want you to know that what you're going through, God wants you to know that you are training for the trial you're not in yet. You're training through what you've gone through in your family, what's happening in your family, what's happening with your sisters and your brothers, what's happening with situations, heartbreaks, relationships, abuse, pain, injustice that happened to you. Maybe someone harmed you, someone hurt you, someone did something terrible. Maybe you failed yourself, made a horrible choice, and you just can't seem to get past the mistake that you made. All that God wants to do with that stuff is not beat you over the head with it and let it destroy you. He says, train for the trial that you're not in yet by going through what you're going through right now. If you're serious about living for Jesus, harder days are coming than you're in right now. Next year, you should be harder than you are this year concerning not giving up. God will bless you more. He will trust you more. But in this world, you will have opposition. Jesus promised it. And you're training. God puts to use what he puts you through. God will put to use everything he's put you through. Romans 8, for we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. He's doing it right now. It seems like there's no fruit. It seems like it's been a wasted year. It seems like there's no success. It seems like the doors have not opened, but you were just singing it. Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you, plans of good and not evil. God puts to use what he puts you through. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear that day before Saul, saying, tomorrow about this time I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him commander over my people, king over my people Israel, that he may save my people from the hand of the Philistines. I have looked upon my people because their cry has come unto me. When Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said to him, there he is. That's the man I spoke to you about. This is the one who will reign over my people. Then Saul drew near to Samuel at the gate and said, please tell me where the seer or the prophet's house is. And Samuel answered Saul and said, I am the prophet or the seer. Go up before me to the high place, for you shall eat with me today. And tomorrow I will let you go and will tell you all that is in your heart. And by the way, verse 20, but as for your donkeys that were loose, and you've been searching for 3 days, do not be anxious about them, for they have been found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Are you not the one? Or on whom is all the desire of Israel? It's a question. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is not it on you and on your father's house? So I want to talk to you today about this little story, and I want to just quickly get to where I want to go. I want to preach about a prophetic journey. A prophetic journey. Because what happened in this story was, if you read the earlier part of the chapter, Saul's father said to the young man Saul, I want you to go out and find the donkeys. They've broken out of the pen. They've gotten loose. I don't know where they're at. That's a big investment of our family farm. We need to find those donkeys, and don't you come back to this house until you get those donkeys. So here goes a young man who the Bible said stood head and shoulders above anybody else in Israel. He has no clue as to what his assignment is, what God's plan is for his life. He has no clue the heights that God's purpose and destiny would take him to. And he's going out because a loss has occurred. He's going out because something has happened that has created a loss in his life. He's lost something. He's lost something. And he's trying to recover what he's lost. And he's chasing donkeys. And they chased them and had to spend the night in tents and sleep over out in the wilderness looking for these donkeys, because back then, it was a big deal. It was a big deal to their family and to their farm. For 3 days they searched and did not find them. And finally, the man that he was with, the servant that he was with, said, hey, why don't we go? I've heard there's a prophet in the city. Why don't we go the opposite direction? Because he has the word. God shows him things. And it may be that we could ask him and offer him, something, and get him to pray to his God, and he would tell you where the donkeys are. He has that kind of gift. And Saul, being a young man, said, well, what do we got to lose? If we don't, we'll never get to go home. So they go to the city. Now, what I want you to see is this. Saul is looking for something that he's lost. He's out looking for something that he's lost. Some of you are looking for something that you've lost. Value, self-esteem, purpose, destiny, meaning. Why am I here? What does God want me to do with my life? He heard the seer or the prophet could give him a word that could cause him to recover what he had lost. You can recover